Hello everybody. On and off I've been working on these switches. I have some Gardner Bender. I think these are GSM or something -42 switches that they light up when they are on. They have another version of this switch that don't light up, but I got a bunch of these that light up. Well, I must apologize. The inside of my truck is a mess, as it commonly is. There, on the out front corner of the bed, I got a 12 by 1 inch mending plate, and on the other corner of the bed I got another one. Mounted them a few weeks ago. Once I'm almost done with this, I was going to loosen the bolts and tilt them upward at say about a 45-degree angle, and that's where the LED lights are going to be mounted, pointing down and forward, down and rearward, and I think on the right side I might have one pointing up at about a 45-degree angle to the side and up, to point it up at street signs in the corner so I can read them better. But this is all for my job, for delivering food, and but I did have a 4-slot regular household light switch plate that I cut 3 more holes into it, and I enlarged the standard 4 holes, and I had a bunch of these mounted in it, but I don't have a Dremel tool, and I didn't get the holes tight. I didn't get them straight, and the switches wiggled around, and then I had it up here on top of the dash, and I didn't like how it looked, so I just took all the switches out of it. And what I have here are some flat angle braces I bought at Lowe's. These are 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch, 3.5 inch on each side, and between each one of these switches is double-sided foam sticky tape. And but my thought was mounting it right up there on top of the where the vents are. I want it somewhere where I can't easily bump it and turn it on while I'm driving down the road, because I'm sure my lights aren't legal to turn on while I'm driving down the highway. I would only use them for pizza delivery, because when I get out to these rural driveways that are long and have no lights on them, I can't see much of anything off to the side, especially if it's a narrow driveway. So this is my latest contraption here. But I don't know. I can't make up my mind. It seems like nothing is perfect enough. Another thought is to take all these switches out of here and buy some of these other, I think these are, what size are these mending plates? Let me get out the tape measure here. Shoot. Let me put the phone down for a couple seconds. Back up again. Okay, that's 2.5 inches by 1.5 inches. Maybe get a mending plate that's a little bit longer and bigger than this one, but my idea was to sandwich a bunch of these switches. You know, mending plate switch, mending plate switch, mending plate switch with foam, double-sided sticky foam tape between the switch on each side and the plate, but have it at an angle. You know, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, that kind of thing. But I don't know, I'm so picky. It seems, I feel like no matter what I do, it's not going to be perfect enough. But another thought is, okay, I don't want it anywhere near the airbag, because if I had a thought of mounting switches over here, but okay, if I'm in a crash and the airbag goes off, is the switch going to fly into my face or my body or hit a passenger? I almost never have a passenger in my vehicle. So back to here is, I think, the best place to put it. I don't know. I can't make up my mind. Let me back off here. I could also unbolt it here and bolt it here. And once it was all together, I wasn't going to have a hinge. I don't need a hinge. This is just the way it is for the moment. I don't know, but there's the back side with all the hookups. I do have all the switches pointing the same direction. So if I did use this setup, once they're all hooked up, they're, you know, off would be, you know, I think that way, and on would be that way, so they'd all match. But I think this would be great once it's all done. Here, let me unbolt this. See what I can do. Take that bolt out of there. Now, if I just had 3 hands, or a girlfriend or a wife to hold the phone while I'm dicking around with this. Okay, put the bolts over here. Take this nut out. Take this nut out. I'll get another one of those I voted stickers. Today is Tuesday, November, what is it? November 6th, I think. Yep, November 6th. I got that I voted sticker for the voting in my very first, voting in a primary for the very first time. I think that was August of this year, 2018. Okay, stop yakking. Okay, let me put the phone down for a few seconds here while I line up the bolts. Okay, get this through here, that through there, that through there. Get them all lined up again. Put the bolt through. And the nut on. Okay, all right, look at that. Okay, now that looks a little bit better. Okay, look at that. All right, an angle, except I'd want it up like that instead of facing down like that. But I don't know, this might work. This might work if I take my hacksaw and cut these off, all 3 on this side off right about there, and cut these off right about there. I got 8 switches, and then it would not stick out as far, because I was going to have the wires go to the right from there. You know, I want to keep it looking fairly neat. I'd be putting a few screws through, I think, this piece. I think I want to avoid putting screws through the main dash. You know, I could always buy another one of these if I had to through eBay, but nothing's perfect, right? I don't know, I just might do that instead of the having the switches angled. But I got these switches at Menards are about $4.50 each. I think I have 9 or 10 of them. These mending plates are pretty cheap, but then if I sandwich the mending plates, I'm probably going to have to put electrical tape over the inside of the metal so it doesn't short out the switches. But I get at Fleet Farm I bought a block. It's a block with a cover and 5 fuses in it, or 5 places for fuses. I bought that. I don't have that here with me in the truck. But you know, another thought is, okay, if I'm in a violent accident, you know, you can get tossed around pretty bad in a violent accident, even with your seatbelt on. I was wondering, okay, what if that hits me in the face, or my face hits that? You know, anyway, I don't drive like a maniac. I don't speed hardly at all, so you never know what the idiots out there texting on their phone while they're driving, or looking at Facebook while they're driving down the road. I don't know. I'm just working with ideas. I want to add these LED lights to the front of the bed of my truck, but not make it too ugly. Make it nice and functional. I got this cell phone holder a few weeks ago. It works fairly good, but I'm wondering if it'll wear to the point where the phone starts to turn like that. I don't know. Anyway, otherwise, you know, if I wanted to put these switches in here, I'd have to pull this panel out. I'd have to carefully cut holes to the right size, because, you know, that's the frame of this is a 1/2 inch wide and about 1 1/8 inch long. And I don't have a Dremel tool. And then if the switches were inset in here, then I gotta route all the wiring around all the stuff that's in there, and then the project gets even more complicated. And so, well, we got, there'd be wires coming behind here for that power outlet, wires coming behind here, then that's the airbag, passenger airbag on or off light. And man, I just don't want to mess with all that. I guess, there's down here below the controls for the heating and air conditioning, and the then that's one piece, and then that's the dash piece. There's two different. Here, it's this plate here. Goes about halfway down, and I don't want it to be a pain. Just maybe mount them all up here some way or another. That won't be perfect. You know, if I mounted switches in here, again, I'd have to be taking the dash halfway apart and running the wires back in there, and you know, what else do I run into once I run the wires back in there? I really don't want anything up on the dash sticking out, and which people coming from the other direction would be staring at like I'm some alien from another planet. So I have looked on eBay. There are companies that sell switch panels with switches, and I don't know, I'm impatient. I guess if I would have bought one several weeks ago, I could have had this all done by now, but anyway, I'm just going through ideas right now. Maybe this would be the way to do it. I could always put black electrical tape on it so it doesn't look so odd, or maybe even spray paint it. I don't know if that's anodized. I got these angle brackets at Lowe's, like I said. I don't know. Well, sooner or later I'll make up my mind. It's early November and the days are shorter. The night time is comes sooner. That's when I'm out delivering food in the after dark a lot. So, but it is a fun challenge. It is a fun challenge to do a project like this. I'm sure if I had a flat tire out in the country, it would be nice to turn on the LED lights and shine it down while I change a tire. Anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough about my project that I'm in the middle of. This, I think, will be video number 199 for my YouTube channel. I have a couple other videos that are private that the public can't see, and I have ideas for other videos to add. But anyway, please like and subscribe, give a thumbs up, check out my other videos. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bye.